Okay, if you want to win at marriage, you got to be a marriage master. Now, here's what I'm saying. You don't need two people to be a marriage master to have a marriage work. Okay, in my marriage, I'm the marriage master. My wife is fantastic. I'm thankful for her every day, but I'm the marriage master. Why would you even want to be a marriage master? Well, you'd want to be a marriage master because a marriage master can make any marriage work with anyone, and then he chooses or she chooses her partner. And so that's what you want. You want to be able to have your relationship work regardless of how your partner is being. If you need two different people to come together and they have to be perfect, then you're going to have a really hard time at having a marriage work. So you don't want to do that, right? You want to be the one person, the one who gets to say how it's going to go and how to make it work. Now, a quick story. I had a buddy, and he was not interested in marriage at all. He was not interested in relationships. He was not built for relationships at all. And he met this woman, and all of a sudden he just disappeared, right? It was during my single times. He just became this really great family man. He was completely devoted to this woman. They ended up getting married. They have children today. They're extremely happy. Now, how did that happen? Well, I discovered after looking at her and watching how she behaved that she was a marriage master. She knew how to have a relationship work, and she was just doing these things that really worked inside of a relationship. And this is when I got the idea called being a marriage master. And then I found that there are four things that all marriage masters have in common, okay? Four things that if you put these four things into play, that you're going to have that relationship work. Number one is radical integrity. What do I mean by radical integrity? Marriage masters tend to keep their promises at all costs. They keep their promises to their spouses. They keep their promises to people in life, period. There's a lot of reasons why this really does work. Number one, obviously, it takes out the stress, the cortisol. It doesn't make your partner move away from you because you don't have integrity, and a lot of people are dealing with that. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is because there's an attraction that we naturally have to people who keep their promises. They show a demonstration of power in something that most people don't have, especially when a relationship's not going well and you don't say, hey, I quit, I throw up my hands, I'm done, right? So a marriage master will literally be someone who keeps their promises everywhere they are, every area of life. That is a marriage master. Now, number two is what we call radical intentionality. All right, so they have a radical intention inside their relationship. What do I mean by radical? I mean that they, regardless of what's going on around them, they're able to keep focus on that one intention no matter what. So radical intentionality, for instance, in my marriage my intention in my marriage is loving, nurturing, lifelong partnership. Now, there are times where I don't feel like I had that radical intention or that intention of loving, nurturing, lifelong partnership. There are moments where I don't feel like it, but it doesn't matter because I'm given to, I've already committed to, I'm going to stand by that radical intention or that intention. I'm going to radically stand by that intention called loving, nurturing, lifelong partnership, right? So when she shows up late, when we have somewhere to go and she's not there on time, whatever it may look like, it doesn't even matter what it is, guys. Or she's not in a good mood, or maybe I'm not in a good mood, whatever it looks like, doesn't matter. I'm committed to that intention radically, no matter what it looks like, to loving, nurturing, lifelong partnership, and I give myself to it in being, in my language, in my words to her, inside of all my actions. I'm going to make sure that whatever I do, it moves forward, loving, nurturing, lifelong partnership. Now, a marriage master knows how they want their relationship to look. They will not shift it. They will not play around with it. They will not in any way deter from that thing. They will not take a detour from that thing. They are going to do whatever's going to honor that relationship each and every time. All right, and so that is radical intentionality. Mastery of self now. That's number three. Mastery of self. Now, what do I mean by mastery of self? Well, we've all got programming, and some of us have programming in relationships that keep us from being loved with our partners. For instance, let's say that your partner, like for me personally, one of my programs, if you will, if something happens and you reject me, I naturally will reject you. I'll withdraw, I'll go away. And that's how I am. You're probably like that too. You may have that going on in the way that you're made up. You're programming, right? And so inside of that, I had to deal with that. So when things don't look the way I wanted to, who do I have to be? I've got to actually be someone who now can be loved even when rejection shows up, even when that programming wants to show up. Some of you have other programming, right? Like someone yells at you, you yell back at them. Or somebody tries to dominate you, you dominate them, or you run away, whatever it may look like. These are the things that are in the middle between you and your relationship. So you got to move those out of the way. And so a marriage master goes to work on knowing and figuring out what their programming is that's holding them back from that love and from being able to have that consistent, beautiful relationship, and they move those things out of the way. And then lastly is mastery of life, right? A marriage master, number 4, is a master of life. Now, what does that look like? Well, in each area of life, if you have that radical integrity, if you have radical intentionality, and you have mastery of self, now you can go out and you actually can create whatever you want to in life. Well, a master of life or a master of marriage, there are specific principles that make marriages work, right? And so if you understand these specific principles when you have these other 3 in place, then you're going to win at relationships. What's one of these principles? For instance, and mastering it, not just knowing it, but mastering it would be, hey, we move away from whatever triggers stress, we move toward whatever triggers happy hormone, right? So marriage master is going to always take actions, trigger those happy hormones to make their partner come toward them, and they're going to avoid stress elements. That's one of those basic principles that are super, super important. That's what's gonna create a marriage master and going to have someone be able to have any relationship work at any time. Once again, radical integrity, radical intentionality, mastery of self, and lastly, mastery of marriage itself, mastery of life. All right, so if this helps at all, I hope it makes a difference. I hope that you got a lot of value inside of that. Yes, I want to tell you more. There's not enough time on this. In fact, I think I've gone over on this video a little bit, but but the reality of the situation is, if you want help with this, I can help you 1000%. Would love to help you inside of this. Subscribe, like this video, and of course, reach out so that we can make a difference to you inside of what you're dealing with. Talk to you soon.